The second playtest was a disaster. I did a playtest with two Australian girls, okay? They completed the game, but we had a problem. The first problem is they played very, very, very late at night. That's when they told me they could play. But they spent 6.5 hours, which is a little bit on the far side of the game completion time, okay? But there was an issue and no puzzle was working for them. And the issue was the way they play co-op games. Again, I'm nobody to tell people how they have to play games, okay? But the issue was that they were sharing their screen and they were looking at each other's screens while they were playing. And the problem is that works for a lot of parts of the game. So for example, as you know, okay, from previous videos, in my game, there's this area and this is something, these slimes is something that only one player can see. So you have this kind of weapon that reveals this, and the other player has a rifle that you get to use to shoot slimes or this kind of mechanisms of other things, okay? Of course, while they were playing, they were not communicating like left, right, up, down, 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 continue forward. Why? Because she was just looking at her screen. But they played all the co-op games this way, and yeah, for this area it worked. But for example, because they thought that their partner were always looking at the screen, in this area over here, something funny happened. So when you arrive to this area, okay, you come from here, and the first thing you see is this crowbar is going to be a crowbar. And one of them I saw, because they were sharing the screen in Discord, I saw that one of them actually saw that crowbar and she said nothing to the partner. And then the same person went here, saw this valve, and also decided to not to tell nothing to her partner. And that's very bad news, because this is a game about cooperation and communication. So you need to communicate in order to solve puzzles, okay? And what keeps happening over and over again in the playtest is they keep playing, okay? They get frustrated because they didn't know what to do. The reason they didn't know what to do was because they did not communicate information, because they were relying on, okay, I'm sharing my screen, so the other person sees exactly what I see, which is not true, because obviously your attention is just focused in your screen or in the shared screen of your partner, and that's a shame. And then when they get frustrated, then they start to think a little bit and they solve the puzzles.